Hello and welcome to Third Act Film. Today we're going to do something a little different and we're going to suggest some real life people we feel as though deserve a film. Here with me is Todd James.
Hello.
And I'm James Forbes.
Hello, James Forbes.
Let's begin if you want to kick us off.
So I'll kick off, as you would say, with someone who I don't even know that much about this person, and I think they're one of the most interesting people in history.
Wow.
That's why they need a film, because that's the only medium I'm willing to accept.
But autobiography.
What is a book? Benjamin Franklin. Benjamin Franklin.
Oh, Benjamin Franklin.
Yeah, the man on the $100 bill in America. So when I was looking this up, I already knew that I thought this guy was fascinating.
Yeah.
And when I was looking him up, I was like, yeah, and there's a TV miniseries, but...
Okay. Who cares? We want films.
Right. So you start off, he's one of the founding fathers of America. He was never president, which a lot of people think he was. He was never president. So he's like, not only was he this amazing political figure that was completely loved by loads of people, including lots of women.
Really?
Wow. He was like a crazy inventor.
Yeah.
He was the one who first, I don't know if he first suggested it, but he thought of harnessing electricity from lightning. The famous kite experiment. You're looking at me blankly, but he did.
Sure, yeah.
He invented a musical instrument, the glass harmonica.
Oh, nice.
Which I've had a chance to play, even though there are only 2 in the world.
Nice.
I know.
Fun fact.
I know. I'm pretty big. I'm big news. He was a newspaper editor. He lived in London, in Benjamin Franklin House, where Jimi Hendrix later lived.
Brilliant.
Yeah. He was a Freemason.
Yeah. Do you know what that means?
Yeah.
Anyway, carry on.
Yeah, he was a Freemason. I know what that means.
God.
Not that. They wouldn't cover that in great detail, I don't think. Something I found out, he didn't believe in patenting or patenting.
Yeah, patenting.
His inventions, because he was like, well, everyone's going to enjoy them. So he invented all this cool stuff. And
other people patented them.
So it was just out there. He used to stand naked in his windows in the morning because he believed being bathed in cold air was good for you.
Brilliant.
He later had very serious health problems and died aged 87. And his funeral was attended by 20,000 people.
Holy mackerel.
Isn't this a kind of interesting guy you want to see a film about?
Yeah.
And and that's just what I found from doing the amount of research I do for a video, which is little to none. So, how interesting could this film be?
There must be so much more to it.
Yeah.
And his great inventions, and I'd watch a film like that.
Fantastic lover, by all accounts.
Brilliant. I'd get Leonardo DiCaprio. Why not?
That's who I was thinking, but it's just because of J. Edgar.
Yeah, just get him to do any famous American guy, really. I'll believe it.
Yeah. And I just think that he is the kind of person who is... Most people have heard of him. Very few people know about all the things he did.
Yeah, including yourself.
Yeah. Including the one trying to pitch it to you, yeah.
You know what? I'm totally sold on that. I wouldn't have thought that myself. I'm totally sold.
It'll be called Franklin. I've ruined it, haven't I?
No, Franklin works. But, yeah. Maybe you'll just call it Benjamin Franklin.
Benjamin Franklin, or Founding Father. Origins.
Origins. Do make a universe, film universe.
Yeah, and then he ended up on the $100 bill.
I tell you what, if you were able to throw... they did an Abraham Lincoln film.
Lincoln?
No, Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunt.
Oh, right,
Hunter,
okay.
I think.
Yeah.
Or Killer, or something.
Slayer. Vampire Hunter, I think is right, yeah.
If you had it that Benjamin Franklin...
Unicorn Rider.
Bit elaborate, but...
Right.
If you... Yeah, you might want to do it if they got in contact with those guys and then did a whole series of great American people.
Yeah.
And that they had a side job of,
Benjamin Franklin Dragon Rider.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
It wouldn't. Him riding a dragon holding a kite, I'm sure I can harness electricity.
Yeah. Perhaps that's how we found out. Yeah.
Maybe.
Anyway.
Alright, give me one.
Alright, I've only got 2 for today, I'm afraid.
Me too.
Oh, okay, that's good. This person kind of has got a film, but it was very small and no one cares, so let's ignore that.
Okay.
Big budget one, okay?
Okay.
Nancy Wake. No idea. She's from the war. She was born in New Zealand.
Okay.
And then she moved to Australia very young. And then after studying in Australia, she moved to Europe. This was around late 1930s, so you know the kind of touchy area. It's touchy in the sense that it's just before the next World War.
Right.
So she moves to Europe. Probably not the greatest time to have done that. Moves to Europe. She marries a French industrialist, and he's killed during the war. And she's not happy about this.
Yeah.
So she herself signs up, and she joins the French resistance. So after the Nazis have taken over France, she's part of the French resistance. Volunteered to just make it as difficult as possible for the Nazis to occupy the country, and she gets named the White Mouse.
It's not ringing a bell. What, Miffy?
Miffy? Who's that?
Don't worry.
Anyway, moving on.
Miffy's a rabbit. Anyway.
And then she's arrested several times, and at one point she's arrested and she leaves the country, goes to Spain and then to England. While she's in England and she's told about the resistance and their troubles and such, they hire her as a British special agent. They send her back in, and
right.
They send her back in.
It seems like a fictional step in her story,
isn't it?
Like the Dragon Rider, Benjamin Franklin kind of element.
It's on the same level.
Right.
And then she becomes a special agent. She's parachuted back into France,
as one is,
equipped with more stuff and more knowledge and such. And then her task is to help the French resistance against the Nazis, to cause such uproar for the Nazis, so much trouble, to coincide with D-Day.
Right.
So we always hear the story of D-Day, like Saving Private Ryan and such, of the people climbing up, trying to get up to where they have machine guns. We all know the scenes. But you don't know the other, like literally the other side. Like what was happening on the land and what were the French people doing and how were they trying to help that ongoing collaborated charge against the Nazis in France. So she was able to head that and cause so much trouble for them. That's why, you can contribute her help as to what... I'm not giving her full credit. Like, no Nancy Wake... No Nancy Wake.
Right.
No
victory for the Allies.
No victory for them. But she played a big role in that. And because of that French resistance causing so much troubles for them, it was just time for D-Day, and then they were able to smash them. She won many awards, and after the war she worked in intelligence until she got a bit older and then went back to Australia and married some guy.
It is definitely a story that I would watch.
There's tons I've missed out. Tons. But that's just like the brief outline. And they've already made a film about her, so she clearly is interesting. But if you were to do a kind of more...
Get a name involved.
Like a Michael Bay-ish version of it. Like he's doing this 13 hours film.
Which is great, by the way. No, I've seen it. It's great.
Okay.
Carry on.
But he's done that, and a lot of criticism is that it's not exactly the truth.
Right.
If you were able to do... It's a bit weird when you're doing a biography of someone's life and you're like, can we not put the truth in?
It a bit.
Let's exaggerate.
Right.
If you're able to do that, I can think of... It just reminds me of like Agent Carter from TV.
Right.
One woman against the world type feeling, yeah.
Sure.
But I think it would be great. I think it would be something really interesting.
I think if you just get the right actress in, then...
I wouldn't know. Maybe Charlize Theron, why not?
Sure. I'd put her in anything.
Yeah. All right, go moving on.
Before I move on, I realised I said something wrong. So before someone else says it, I'm going to say it. Jimi Hendrix actually lived in Handel's house, not in Benjamin Franklin's house. Yeah. Sorry. I know that was... The film's off now. I know that the opening scene of Jimi Hendrix playing and be like, I wonder who used to live in this house. Anyway, my next one, this is going to be a bit of a downer. It's not a very happy story.
Okay.
This is got Oscars written all over it.
Brilliant.
Jaco Pastorius.
Jaco Pastorius. Who is he?
Often regarded as the greatest bass player of all time.
Bass player? Oh, okay.
Yeah. You know that instrument?
Yeah.
The bass, yeah. So, yeah, he was thought of by many people, including at the time, as being the greatest there ever was. And
what about Flea?
I'll pretend he didn't say that. Best known for his work with Weather Report.
Cool.
Yeah, but he also played with everyone who was anyone at the time, was like, yeah, get him involved.
Yeah.
So this guy, he started off his life and he was like, it's all about the music. I don't want to get involved with drugs. I don't want to get involved with alcohol. I want to make great music. He gets in with Weather Report, and like a year later, he's like a massive drug addict and like loves the booze.
Lovely. Rockstar
So
lifestyle.
the thing is, this guy, if he was a guitarist or a singer, he would have had a film made about him ages ago. It's because people aren't interested in bass.
Yeah,
this is maybe my jilted past as a musician talking.
Yeah.
And something that it was like really big in a big moment that I always think of as being like quite representative of what being a successful musician is.
Yeah.
So you're the greatest bass player that's ever lived. You're being interviewed, and somebody asked him like, "Oh, so with all these accolades, like, how do you feel?" And he went, "Just give me a gig, man," because he was poor.
Oh, right.
Because no matter how talented he was just like struggling to pay his bills the whole time.
Oh, right.
Because he was just like, no one wants to listen to jazz.
Yeah.
No one wants to pay for jazz. He also had a very cinematic but tragic death,
Oh, okay.
where he like snuck into a gig of one of his friends.
Yeah.
Then he got like pulled out by the bouncer, and like it's something like this. And he tried to get back in and just got like beaten up by this bouncer and went into a coma, and then like died a few days later.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, like age 35 or something.
I can... You know what? Bit weird. Now that you've told me that, I
Yeah.
can definitely see this as a film.
Yeah, right.
Definitely.
There we go.
The kind of ongoing suffering of a musician
Yeah.
that just wants to play. If you
Yeah.
have it that all he wants to do is be a musician, you see him as he's learning
Mm-hmm.
and getting all these accolades from all these different people, then the drug habit falls in.
Yeah.
And the low paying of
Yeah.
all the different gigs he's
Like, no
doing.
matter how successful you are.
And all he wants to do is play bass. And
Yeah.
that's all he wants to do.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of like, what's that American story, the little engine that could, or something like that. Just try it. Just reminds me of that spirit to just want to do one
Yeah.
thing and trying to get to this one point, but then he dies.
Yeah. And like he got distracted by wanting to party and like wanting to have a
Yeah.
good time. And then that's what killed him, basically.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I just feel like that is the music world is full of like fascinating stories about people.
Yeah.
But we only know the ones of singers or
Yeah. And not
Yeah.
bass players or
yeah.
background singers or something. I don't know.
Sure, exactly.
See, this is how little
Yeah.
people know that I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, you got one more?
Yeah, my last one. I'm not going to say his name right.
Here it comes.
Right. Albert Goring. I'm sure I'm not saying his surname right. But Goring. I'm going to call him Albert the whole time.
Okay.
Now,
Ali G.
so Albert, his brother was a Nazi.
Are we taking Hermann Goering?
Yeah, you know him.
Yeah,
Oh,
I know
Goering.
Hermann.
Hermann Goering, yeah.
Right.
He was an SS officer quite high up in
Yes.
the Nazi regime
Truth.
and the political side of it all. He fought in World War One. And his brother, however, had the same surname, obviously, as brothers do.
Yeah. That's what I thought you were going for, but I didn't want to say it in case I was wrong.
Yeah.
I didn't want to drop a Nazi out there in case it was the wrong thing, and you're like, Todd, stop thinking about Nazis.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know why both mine are themed with Nazis, but whatever.
You just love it, mate.
And you see, Albert was a good guy, but it was very hard for him to be a good guy because his brother was a Nazi, and the name of Goring was associated with Nazis. So there was a lot of prejudice against him in his life for that. So he would fight against that. So what he would do many times, which was quite annoying to the Nazis' goal, was there was one instance where a bunch of Nazis tell a bunch of Jews, "We need you to just clean this." They just get them to clean the pavement or whatever, something they're cleaning.
Right.
So they have to get on their hands and knees, bucket and clean. And the Nazis are laughing at it like, "Oh, look at them, ha ha ha." And then Albert Goring sees what's happening, so he walks along and he rolls up his sleeves, gets a sponge, puts it in a bucket, and then he starts washing the floor with them.
Right.
And then they're like, no, not you. You're clearly not a Jew. Whatever. Can you not do that, sir? We just want the Jewish people to do that.
Right.
And then he stands up and he's like, "Do you know who I am?" They're like, "No." He's like, "I'm Albert Goring. If you've asked them to do it, I'm doing it as well." And they're like, "No,
What?
no. Just the Jews do it, not you, because we know who your brother is. And if your brother finds out that we've made you clean the floor, we're dead." So then they were like, "Okay, just forget it. Okay, just forget it.
We'll walk on the dirty floor, it's fine." Right.
Let's forget it." And he would do that so many times. He would just walk around in the neighbourhood. If Jews were being told to do one thing, he would join in with them, and then they have to tell him to stop, because if the information led back to, he was his brother was part of the kind of cabinet
Yeah.
the Nazi party, it was serious that if you were
abusing him, basically.
He also had other instances where during the heat of the war that they were kind of selling Jews as slaves, which is tragic in itself. And what Goring would do was that he was a businessman himself, so he would say to the Nazis, hey, I'm going to buy some of these, all right? I want to buy some Jews, all right?
I'm a shrewd businessman. I can see a good investment.
See a good investment. So he would buy some, or get given them, because he's Goring's brother.
Yeah.
Get given them, and then he would just let them go.
You're free now.
Yeah, he would just be like, okay, yeah, thanks, good deal, shake hands, great, right, see ya. And then he would just do it again. But they could never turn him down. And then, because he's always causing trouble for them, and they're like, can you stop it, please? And all the other lower Nazi officials are all like, oh, Goring!
Every time he turned up to an auction, they were like, oh, for God's sake.
He's going to outbid us, and they've released them.
Right.
And then they would bring him up, and they'll bring him up to see his brother, and they're like, he's done this, and a long list of stuff that he's done, just sabotaging their work. And then his brother's just like, why are you doing this? Can you stop? This is embarrassing for me. And his brother's like, you're a jerk. What you're doing is wrong.
A jerk. I'm sure that is word for word
what he said, but in German, obviously. And and then he would just and then his brother wasn't, their family was quite a small net group, and they were very, strong on honour and respect within the family. So he couldn't be seen putting his brother in prison. So he would just always let him out. He would always release him from whatever hold any Nazi official had over him.
It's like, Albert!
Just constantly disappointed. And then it's kind of a sad and happy ending towards his life, as in that because of his surname, people didn't look more further than that. So when the end of the war and the Nazis were being rounded up, he was one of them, and he was captured. It was an American or English jail, I can't remember. I think it was American jail that he was imprisoned in, and he was imprisoned indefinitely until this is around the time when they're making decisions as to what to do.
Sure.
And he was in prison for a year, and he was supposed to serve indefinitely, or it was like 20 years or whatever for war crimes. Yeah. And thanks that one of the prison guards, Goring was really nice. Albert was really nice the whole time. He understood what was going on. He was really nice. And one of the prison guards said, like, oh, this Goring guy, he's so nice to me, and yet he's a Nazi, it's really weird, I don't get it. And he was telling his father, and his father was like, Albert Goring. It's like, yeah, Albert Goring. He bloody saved me, bought me on a bid, and set me free.
Oh my God.
And then he's like, what do you mean? Like, what? Isn't he a Nazi? He's like, no, he's never been a Nazi. His brother's the Nazi. And because this prison guard's father, who was a Jew, completely vouching for him, saying like, this man is a hero. And he was released. Then he went to Czech Republic and then got imprisoned again. He got imprisoned again, but again it was just another year. But the whole time he was just like, yeah, I understand. My brother he's completely ruined our name, and he still refused to change his name. He could have easily just changed it. Refused to change his name because
Albert Ringo.
Because I think it's you could argue it's probably because he didn't want the name turned bad because of what the actions of one person in his family. So he was keeping the name and trying to make a positive out of it. Prison for a year, and then I believe it was the British and Americans were passing on the intel to say he's good, he's fine. Eventually he was released and lived out his days. Yeah,
mate, I'm just crying just hearing about this guy. That's gold.
That's gold, isn't it?
That is bloody gold, mate.
I just
Nazi
would love
gold.
Oh wow! I would just love to see the scene where he gets dragged in to see his brother, the SS officer, and it's just like, Albert,
and he just
stop
doesn't
it.
care. He's like, mate, never going to change.
Yeah. I'm going to keep on doing this.
It's going to be you, because it ain't going to be me.
Yeah. And just that kind of, because we don't really see that. It's always Nazis are bad, and the Allies are great. We never see the heroes from the other side. And in fact, Albert Goring, I forget it's a particular thing, a reward in the Jewish community that they award to people who aren't Jewish, and it's a particular award given for lifetime support towards Jews, and he was awarded that after death. Yeah, how sweet is that? because so many people recounted him and recalled him and
Yeah.
how many he had saved. Yeah, it's just great. It's a great hero story in the midst of a lot of horrible
it's
times.
already won an Oscar, that film. Right, already.
Get Leonardo DiCaprio again,
Sure.
and then get Christoph Waltz to play the brother.
No.
No, too scrawny, baby. Yeah, but
Too typical. But yeah, that is... I'm glad you say that one to last, because even though it wasn't the best one, I mean, even though it wasn't one of mine,
yeah,
that is...
it's
that one-
cheery enough. You can
Yeah.
believe, and you're like, oh, what a great guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like Germans now. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, have you guys got any interesting people from history that haven't had a film yet and you would like to see? Do let us know in the comments below. I've been James Forbes.
I've been Todd James.
Bye.
3 stories, all just from different parts of the world.
And different time points as well.
Yeah, if they had, actors in those parts.
actors in the
Yeah.
film. You don't want to be rained by fire. And it's
You're right.
Yeah.
I don't.